Hey guys, how you doing? It's Mr. and Mrs. Honeydew Carpenter. We are off in a little nook of the property to try and get away from all the noise. There's lawnmowers and everything else going on here. But anyways, there's a few things we wanted to talk with you guys about. I was really excited in the last video we put out. I did some experimenting with bulk slurry batches in my mixer. And I couldn't get the Portland cement to keep from clumping, and I think that's why everyone else has always used a spiral mixer. And you know what? I found that just taking, you know, a few handfuls of 1.25 to 1.5 round river rocks and throwing in there changes everything. And it worked awesome. And what it allowed me to do was make these big bulk batches of about 16 gallons of slurry. And then I mix it up about 5 gallons at a time, 5-6 gallons at a time. So I can do like 3 batches out of one mixer. And it makes things go a lot more quickly.
It does go a lot quicker. And we had planned on showing a little bit more of the slab, but we had so much noise over there. People are mowing their lawns and music out playing in the backyard, so we are, like he said, over in a little nook.
So
We got some messages. Let's
Yeah.
see. All right, Sandy says hi guys. Hey, good to see you live. AR Thomas says looks like you guys are having fun. And
We
the
are.
Maker Show hi from Alaska. Hi everyone.
So anyway, there's one thing I did want to talk a little bit about and on this live show, and that was a Kickstarter that we have planned. I'm not sure exactly what products or packages that we're going to offer for it, but we are going to have a Kickstarter that's going to go here, I don't know, in the upcoming weeks.
Probably about a month.
Yeah, probably about a month. And I am going to be building a laboratory and a workspace so that I can continue and get some laboratory equipment, gravimetric tester, compression testers, shear testers, things like that. And they're pretty expensive, but I'm going to get those things and set up a place where I can do some more research on Air Crete. Because when I first started this little adventure, I just did what was available on the internet, and every mix that I saw was crumbly. It was horrible, or it would collapse. And it's taken a lot of experimenting for me to get these things to be stable and to be hard when they're done. But it's just kind of a moot point, you know, that I can hit it with the hammer and make it harder. I can make it stable to set up where it goes. I really have to get some data on this stuff and start, you know, doing some XY graphs on it, and with the exact formulas that we're using to get this stuff. Because my main goal, guys, is to bring Air Crete a little more mainstream, and to take these wall panel systems and take it to a UL certified laboratory and get them shear wall tested so that they can be certified as a building mechanism.
Currently, right now, you are not able to use it as a building mechanism.
Yeah,
in the US.
anything where people are going to inhabit it, you cannot use it in the United States.
Only for insulation purposes.
Yeah, only for insulation purposes. And people have been asking, why are you doing 16-inch on center? Why can't you do more? Well, that's because that's what they allow for typical wall buildings, is 16-inch on center for structural. And so I'm only using the Air Crete as an insulation, even though it provides a ton of structural integrity as well. So, but
the Kickstarter, we just need a bare bones shop with a place to be able to do more projects and the testing.
right.
So keep an eye out in the future for that Kickstarter program coming out. Okay, well, let's check some of these messages. Robert H. Hi. Oki. Live is always good. The option, not so much. How are the panels attached together? Bob Reed.
Okay, typically when you're doing a normal building, whether it be the siding or the wallboard on the inside, they have a specific attachment pattern, like every 8 inches on center or foot on center, depending on what the wallboard is. And I'm going to do something similar to that. I'm just going to put strips of sheet metal down and do like 8 inch on center tacks to hold the panels together inside and out. And that'll provide a great deal of shear and strength to the wall.
The Maker Show says that the panels look great, and why don't you use Drexel for foam agent?
I've been able to get a good. Here's the deal. I'm trying to make everything I do as accessible to everybody out there and as DIY, do it yourself, as possible. And not everybody has access to these chemicals that are produced in a chemical plant. But everybody can go to Walmart and get Schwab shampoo. And so why do I try and do these things with stuff that everybody can get? I do it that way on purpose. So that's the short answer for that. Now, one thing that we failed to mention that we wanted to mention was this is not going to be a one-time deal, what we're doing right now, this live on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. The live on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Mountain Time is going to be a weekly show that we're going to do, and we're going to talk about the progress we've made and what we've discovered or done throughout the week. So that is going to be a weekly thing.
The Diva B Club says you are doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Thank you. That was a nice compliment.
Thank you.
Kathy says, hi, I'm a first timer from Alabama. Well,
Awesome.
Hi, Kathy. Great to have you. My dog, Layla, says, hi from California. What is the R value? That is something that we will be able to find out in our shop.
Yeah,
Testing.
that's exactly why I need a laboratory. I'll tell you this much, I know it's really good. It's really, really good. I built a forge out of Air Crete and got it, nearly 3,000 degrees inside. It was enough to slump and melt soft steel. And I could touch the outside of it, and it was only about 2.5, 3 inches of insulation around it of Air Crete. So I know the R value is super good, but to be able to actually test it, that's part of the laboratory equipment that I want to get so I can do these tests on it and make it more viable and more accessible as a building material to people. Now, that being said, guys, my whole vision for our Kickstarter is we want to get some property, we want to get a shop and a laboratory, and once we get that going, we want to expand it, and I want to put a bunch of dumps. I want this property to be something to be shared for the world. I want it to be something that we can invite people from all over the United States and all over the world to come in, and we'll divide a portion of a shop or a new shop or whatever into classrooms, and we'll invite the best YouTubers in any genre of discipline. That'll be down the road. But my vision for our property is to have it be something that's shared.
Howdy from Texas. And more chicken tracks in the panels. Nope, we moved the panels to the grandparents' backyard away from the chickens. So hopefully no more chicken art. And then the Desert Angel Home said, hello from the Golden Valley, Arizona, yet an event in California.
Awesome.
The Maker Show says, that's cool. Drexel is not available outside of a particular region. Also, Drexel is a marking agent. Foaming concrete is an off-label use.
Right.
That is true.
Yeah, that is very true.
Could you embed conduit for electrical?
Absolutely. And that's another thing I want to experiment with, is getting way more in detail with my drawings. And so I have forms and whatnot that I can put a piece of PVC that has a release agent on it through the panel, and then after it sets up, just pull the PVC out, and those holes, when the panel's set up and are put together, will be all aligned, and you'll be able to run conduit through it and push wires through it. there's all. I mean, the possibilities are absolutely endless. But in order to come up with these and draw them up and get them certified and bring an engineer in to certify them and look at them, and I need to have a lab that has calibrated equipment by the right people who calibrate and certify this equipment, so that the data can be taken from it and certified by an engineer, and then mock-ups be taken to an actual ASTM certified UL laboratory and have these tests done on it.
So basically we have the shed to finish, and then we have like a couple projects out at Julie's, a goat shed, and then her little dome shed that we're planning on doing out of there. And then we have run out of room to do anything else. So we'd kind of be at a standstill at that point. Let's see. Love the surplus store in IF. I've been there many times.
Awesome.
We love it too. Shay Shay says, sorry, not even listening to Dar. I love the hat too much. Thank you, Shay. You like your hat or Tyrus. How come the framing and the pour is in place, then remove like in a dirt room wall building?
The framing and
the... I think they're asking why you're just leaving the framing on instead of just using it.
Oh, it'll be stronger, and the way I'm doing it is I want it to eventually be a system that can be certified as a building method in the United States using Air Crete, and to have the actual stud as a part of the panel. And then the panel goes up and it has those structural studs, and essentially this, even though it provides a great deal of shear strength and structural integrity, is actually just an insulative deal. I've seen different building systems where they take polyisocyanurate, which is an expanded foam insulation, and they sandwich it between two sheet metal panels and put those up. And that's, those sheet metal panels all by themselves would not be enough to support the shear strength and of the roof system and everything else. But when you sandwich insulation between them, then all of a sudden it becomes strong enough, and you have some kind of a substrate to attach to. If we didn't have that outside frame to screw to and attach to, you would be depending on mortar and whatnot, and then an outside skin of the whole thing all by itself. And I understand that a lot of people are building domes that way, but the dome I am going to do is going to have an actual frame grid system with what should I say, expansion joints at every corner where all the triangles are attached, so that you can imagine it without even the Air Crete in it. It would just be this big dome, and if an earthquake came, it would just kind of move like that, and it wouldn't be susceptible to stuff like that. But
thanks.
We'll see how it works out.
Love the videos from my dog Layla. Did you guys see the latest Air Crete dome workshop on YouTube? Not yet. We need to look at that.
Yeah.
These folks will become the foremost Air Crete experts if they are not already. Well, thank you, Kevin. That is a very nice compliment.
Oh, thank you.
Shay says, okay, what hubby is saying is pretty cool too. Thanks, Shay. Why aren't you all like this video? I think they're saying to like it all.
Oh, yeah.
Hit the like button. I think what you are doing is great to make Air Crete another building material. That is our and
it
we're
has some
excited about
awesome
it.
properties. I think
Have you thought
the
about
uses.
using paper pulp in the concrete mix?
Probably not a paper pulp. I haven't thought about it, because if it ever got moisture in, then the strength of the concrete would go up and down depending on how the ambient moisture content in the air. What do you call that? The humidity in the air. And so I haven't really thought about that. There's too many new technologies, guys, for
time.
strengthening concrete that have just come out in the last year or two, not only chemically, but these different lightweight aggregates, these expanded shells, expanded clays, expanded lava rocks, that
He has been a mad scientist having fun.
and oh my goodness, there's so many other additives, and then the basalt fibers that you can add to add strength beyond that. But it would be kind of a moot point for me to try all these and put them together if I couldn't compression test them and go, wow, this is incredible stuff.
Kevin Doyle says, click the freaking like icon if you want more of these videos. Yes, hit the like button, hit the bell to subscribe. You guys are good to go. Perhaps the spiral cut PVC for the cable raceway easier to remove post cure. So would the spiral cut PVC be easier to remove after the concrete is cured than regular PVC?
I don't know. I've seen it in other manufacturing processes where they actually put the PVC pipes through, so these blocks actually have a through block system and a tongue and groove where they go on the sides. There's thousands and thousands of Air Crete plants overseas, and they use it as a building material. I think there's something with lobbyists and politicians and the timber industry and the CMU mortar and brick industry that's going on. But we'll find out what is going on and we'll get around it.
The Desert Angel Homestead says that you are awesome in everything that Darwin is creating. Well, that is a wonderful compliment.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thumbs up. Well, the building a dome with a 10.5 walls to it to be underground like the foamier. Do you have an update version? I think they're talking about the one at Julie's. That'll be half in, I think.
Oh, half in the ground?
I don't know. Underground like your foamier former? I don't know.
Oh.
Okay. Kevin Doyle says, and I drive a ready-mix truck and I'm watching this. I hope you're not driving and watching. That would be unsafe, Kevin.
Yeah.
Run out of the room, come to Southern California and build in my backyard.
Yeah. We had one. Oh, yeah, Elizabeth. She's so sweet and so kind. We had one viewer that said something about
99.9%
of people would love to have me as their son-in-law or something.
That made his.
Oh man, that
he
melted
loved
my
that
heart.
compliment. Yes,
That was
thank
awesome.
You. Home will have a 130 dome with 4 domes attached to it.
Hey, that's a good question. Where do you buy your steel studs? You know what? I got them at Lowe's. And if you buy them in packs of 70, I bought 2 packs of 70, you get like a 20% discount. And I served overseas during 2 foreign war campaigns, so I'm a veteran, and they give me an additional 10%. So that was like 20% for buying in bulk, 10% for being a veteran, and I think I only paid, they're normally like $3.99 a piece, and I only ended up paying $2 and something a piece for them, $2.70.
So it was a good idea to buy it in bulk.
Yeah, it was a good idea to buy it in bulk, but they're way cheaper than regular studs.
I guess the wind is blowing in the mic a little bit. Sorry, you guys.
We should have brought the mic with the...
I know, I forgot. That is my bad. I forgot to bring the
Hey,
microphone.
I have it, I think. You want me to run and grab it?
No, you stay here and
Okay.
talk, and I'll go see if we have it.
Okay.
And see if it helps.
All right. Thanks, sweetie. But anyways, let's see what else we got going on here. Do you have a Kickstarter or GoFundMe? No, we don't at this point. This thing has just got so popular so quick. It's kind of snuck up on us. And so we are putting together a Kickstarter. And we want to offer some awesome packages. I don't know if you guys have seen my video of the Air Crete shed where I take people through the drawings and the plans and whatnot. But at the end of this deal, we're going to have some plan packages where we'll send plans for these projects out, different foam mate packages and stuff. I don't know what we're going to do. It's all just, but we're planning one. So Sorry, I have a horrible connection. I'll watch later. Have you weighed a panel after it's set up? I'm curious about the total weight as well. Yeah, I did. I did it very scientifically. I weighed myself on a bathroom scale and then I held it and stood on the bathroom scale. But it ended up being about 75 pounds. So I had roughly 66 pounds of Portland cement and whatnot in it. And then there was a wire mesh and the sheet metal stud frame around it. And after all the moisture flashed out of it and it did its chemical thing, it was just, I think, almost 76 pounds. So there you go. I mean, I can pick up one end because the ground's supporting the other end, so you're only picking up 35 or 40 pounds, and I can just stand it right up by myself without a problem. So it's kind of a neat size of panel in that regard. Bam, bam. Put more items on your Etsy. You know what? I've been kind of strapped for time.
Oops, I bumped the camera, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
Guys, let us know if that helps with the wind or not.
Okay. Yeah, so I've been kind of strapped for time, but I do need to get more items on my Etsy. I want to offer some of the hard-to-get foam mate parts that I buy in bulk and offer those. I also want to... I need to get my wall panel mix up. I wanted to make sure it was 100%. I'm very, very picky when I do these things, but
which is good on your end because then you know it'll.
But just looking
work.
on the internet, everything else that's out there, if you just do it the way they say to do it, it ends up crumbling. My stuff doesn't, so you're probably going to be happy with whatever I put out.
Guess you're not interested. Did you miss a message?
Oh.
20 bedroom, 18-foot kitchen, 2 bedrooms, bathroom, master bedroom, have designed all.
Oh.
Gee.
Man, I'd love to see that. It's this one.
Yeah. If we missed another messages, you guys, sorry.
Wow. Okay. That would be a cool little complex of domes.
It would be.
Yeah. Can you make these into decorative wall panels? And how much insulation value per inch would you estimate? A typical piece of fiberglass insulation that goes in a wall is an R11. I would say these are at least an R19 or an R24, if not more.
But we still have not done any testing.
Yeah, but that's just my guess. You asked me to guess, so I guess. I think you're 100% right about the Air Crete in the U.S., lobbyists and such. Glad you're taking the approach you are, and thank you. Well, you know what? If we can get a lot of public support around it, and we can put together a lab, and we can prove that the stuff works, and it's long... I mean, it's like everything else. I worked as a quality control field technician in the geotech engineering field for 6 years. What does that mean? I did quality control. Every time we did a bridge or a bridge abutment and those trucks would come out, I would send guys out and they would take samples from every truck, you know, and we would set them aside in a prescribed manner, and we would bring them back and we would set them in the prescribed ambient temperature with the prescribed moisture in the air and let them sit for a certain amount of time, and then we would compression test them and break them, and we would do all these tests to do quality control and make sure that what was getting delivered on the site was what was there. And so I need to be able to do some similar type tests on these Air Crete wall panels and say, okay, and I have already invented a mechanism that you can put in hoppers all the different ingredients and then run it through an auger system, and it meters and measures out all the ingredients, and you end up kind of with a perfect mix, kind of like a ready mix of slurry. And you know, I need a place to work to build that, and it's going to be DIY too, which is cool. You got anybody who wants to get the plans could build one of these mechanisms for themselves. It won't be that heavy. You can set it on a little Harbor Freight trailer, a little 4x8 trailer or whatever, and it'll be super cool.
Okay, the dome will have 6 to 8 inches on top of it. That sounds pretty exciting. That piques our interest, definitely. Thank you for your service.
Oh, you're welcome.
That was from Sergeant Hogg. Darwin, it's fine. The Desert Angel Home said, I will catch the rest of the video later as my phone does not have a great amount of data and my son use. Well, then we'll catch you later too. The wind is not that bad. Oh, good.
Awesome.
Thank you for letting us know. Uses most of my data, your son. Yeah, I have kids too. I understand. What do you do? I don't know what that was. Sorry, guys. The wind isn't too bad. Thank you. Okay, for 8%, I'll get your GoFundMe starting. Kidding. Have you tried the baking soda?
You know what? Thank you for that tip. A family that had 50 years experience in the ceramic business sent me a tip about baking soda to set up a cement slurry mixture more quickly. And boy, did it ever work. And so I need to go on and modify every one of my mixes and just let people know, because it doesn't affect the strength of it or anything. It seems to set up just as hard. It just sets up more quickly when you put in about a tablespoon of baking soda per gallon of mix. It's incredible. I have tried it, and thank you.
Yes, thank you. So, bye now. Okay. The dome will be put together. Each triangle will be attached by rebar to the other for strength for the soil on top.
Oh, that looks like a pretty cool way. Mine's going to be a little bit different, but...
You sound loud now. Not much wind at all.
Awesome.
Okay, and it helped you. Awesome.
Okay.
Yes, that helps. Lessen wind sound. Thanks. Okay, yeah, it helped. Have you tried hemp in your Air Crete mix?
I haven't tried hemp fibers. And... probably because they're an organic fiber, I probably won't. Just because there's so many other like basalt fibers out there that are lightweight like hemp. I mean, it's basalt rebar is light. It's like lighter than fiberglass. It's crazy light, and it's an I don't know the process that they make it. I just watched it on YouTube and I couldn't get enough of it. But they make basalt fibers, and I'm probably going to go with that as a...
Are you going to put out a usable Air Crete formula for me? Yes, it'll be coming out on Etsy. Once he actually has perfected it, he will put it out on Etsy. During the trial stage, why he's still trying to get it exactly perfect.
I haven't even got one panel that's 28 days old yet. As soon as that thing's 28 days old and
we know he likes
and I
it.
whack it with the hammer, and I'm like, okay, I haven't had the actual lab tests on it, but this is pretty dang good, I'll release it. But I hate to just willy-nilly wing things, guys, and send out mixes, and then you guys as viewers send all these great tips, and I try them and it makes them better, and then I have to go back and change it all.
Yeah. Okay, are you going to create a post of Air Crete formula? Create and post.
Yes.
Okay, yes, we are. Okay, that's the same. Yeah.
You know what? It is. We do have that one that's 14 days old. I would say, well, it's almost 2.5 weeks old. So
yeah,
I would probably within a week I will have a wall panel mix posted. I will do that. I will commit to that within a week. I'll have it because I'm feeling really good about it up till now.
Right.
Yeah.
And can't wait to see the completed shed at your folks' place. We are super excited to get that done.
Right.
And can't wait to see how it turns out.
I'm thinking about going on the exterior mesh with like a fiberglass mesh and just trialing it on with a stucco type stuff, or an Air Crete stucco mixture that I come up with.
Right. So the quality control job is going to help with all your Air Crete projects. Yes, we believe it will.
Yeah, that experience that I had as a field technician in the quality control industry for asphalt and embankment and concrete and things like that, I think is a huge asset for me, and it's just allowed me to kind of look at this whole thing in a completely different mindset than maybe other people who try it and go at it and aren't sure exactly how to go about it. So,
and contact me. Can you send us an email, please, to honeydewcarpenter1@gmail, so we can try and.
And that's the grantor.
Yeah.
Cellular. Okay. Yeah. Send us an email.
It's not fair to post all these cool projects without showing me how to mix the incredible substance for myself and make my own projects, for instance.
Right.
I was create Air Crete doghouse. Oh yeah, we want to do something similar at Julie's.
Right.
She doesn't have a dog,
but yeah, I know. But millions and millions of people do have dogs.
Yes.
And you know what's cool about this? I was doing the figures, just kind of preliminary drawing up like a doghouse. You're gonna have like maybe 2 bags of cement in it, so about $20 in cement, and I think you could get away with like 3 or 4 sheet metal studs to form the sides and everything. I'll draw the plans up and put them up, but it's gonna be a quick project. It's gonna be like a 1-day project to make an Air Crete doghouse that you can just spray a waterproofer on the roof, and it'll keep them cool in the summer and it'll keep them warm in the winter, and you could even put a thermostat with like a light bulb in it. It's going to be so well insulated that they would have a heated home, and for cheap on a DIY thing compared to anything like that.
We are planning on putting out more mixes here in the next future, and some of those mixes are actually going to be on the Kickstarter at a lower cost than they will be on the Etsy store, to try and help us get going on that also.
Yeah. Or as a part of a package, just to throw in. But
I will need the mix for surface bonding cement. And have you looked at Cellular 5 concrete? It's a dry mix that can increase in volume up to 2.8 times. And pour, no foam needed.
They use a chemical foam and magnesium and different ingredients in it.
It'd be really hard for any normal person to get, right?
It would, and it's even if you could, you would have to do the formulations perfect. Meaning, if you were trying to insulate a wall with it and we're pumping it in a wall, you'd have to know that area and know exactly how much it's going to expand. And I don't know. It's pretty cool stuff. There's no doubt about it. And I've seen how it works. They use a chemical method to aerate the cement versus using a foam method. The reason I like the foam versus the chemical is it's DIY. I just want to put the cookies on the lower shelf so that everybody can have some, right?
Baking soda, who knew?
Keep it simple.
And Kathy says for a roof application. She wants a seal for a roof mix for a roof application and sealant.
Oh, okay.
That is hopefully coming soon too.
With my wall panel system, you could actually just screw down to the studs some plywood and put. That's the thing with this panel system. The possibilities are endless. You can put a normal roof on it. You just screw down some plywood and put down shingles on it. Or I'm going to do a spray application waterproofing system for it. But
could I replace Portland cement with a red clay dust, being that red clay has a lot of iron in it for a good refractory mix?
Okay. I worked a lot trying to perfect a refractory, and I worked using bentonite clay, which is a gray dust clay, which is really similar to the red stuff. It makes a really good refractory, but it made the Air Crete really weak, and so I chose to go a different direction. I actually have that mix design posted for my refractory, and
baking soda, who knew? Isn't crowdsourcing wonderful? Yes, we love crowdsourcing. Are you going to finish the exterior of the in-laws shed or add color to the mix?
We could add color.
The exterior, my bad.
Yeah, we're going to experiment with putting color in the outside slurry that we trowel on over a fiber mesh. And we're going to experiment with different colors in the cobblestone walkway blocks too going up. So I actually have already purchased the liquid dye that goes in the cement, and we are going to experiment with it. Haven't done it yet, but it's coming.
We do have lots of ideas.
Yeah.
Steve says, thank you. Can this be sawn like kiln bricks? Can Air Crete be sawn?
Yes, sir. I can just saw it with my handsaw and cut right through it.
Multi-formulas for foaming in Air Crete. My foam mate valves seem to never close. Should I replace?
No. Don't replace them. The one, they're actually regulators, your foam mate valves. And if a little bit goes through, you can either just put a ball valve on the end, but I wouldn't replace them because
this doesn't completely turn off either. There's always a little bit of leakage and a little bit, and I think that so that it doesn't pressurize the thing too much, correct?
That's right. I didn't want it to be completely sealed off in any way, shape, or form, and so I used a regulator versus a completely sealed off valve system. It's not going to hurt it to have a little bit of air keep going through. You can always just unplug it when you're not in use and then fill it up and plug it back in and use it when it is in use. But I wouldn't replace those valves. They're good
unless
brass
they completely
regulators.
don't move and are 100% open all the time.
But they're
if
not.
I win a Powerball tonight, I'll hire you guys to supervise my new Air Crete village in Florida.
Awesome.
Right?
Right?
You two are a cute couple, by the way. Thank you. Pizza. Oh, thank you, baby. Pizza oven. Yeah, my husband is going to build me a Air Crete pizza oven. It's going to look all pretty, the dome look and everything. It is coming, but he's a little sidetracked with the Air Crete shed right now. Huh.
How does Grandma get priority over you?
Hello?
Okay.
Wagner. Yes, I was thinking of adding a small heater to the doghouse. I'd love the plans. Beautiful day over there. Raining here in Washington.
I think those doghouse plans would take off. I think people would love them.
We do need to
Especially
get on
after a few people out there built one or two and their neighbors saw them. They'd be like, no way, that's so cool.
Right. Can you make a decorative wall panels with Air Crete? What would the insulation
yeah. Yeah, you could stamp Air Crete pretty much like you'd stamp any.
Thanks for putting the cookies on the lower shelf.
Yeah, keep it simple. Let everybody have some. Everybody wants to make everything so complicated. And I just want to take complicated stuff and make it simple so that everybody can understand it and feel like they can do it and try at least.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. When you get your final formulas set, will you credit those that have already bought some PDFs?
Yes.
Yeah.
If there is a change to an existing PDF and you've already bought it, the changes are addendums to that original and they are free. Got it? Awesome.
Will you try and cut one of the wall panels? Just want to know how your formula cuts. He has...
You know what? I had planned on destroying that first test panel.
Oh, the one with the chicken feet?
And then the chicken walked through it and everybody decided that it had to be kept. But I am going to make a smaller panel, maybe just a 2-foot long one. That I can destroy later, that I can cut, that I can hit with a sledgehammer, and let you guys just get a video of me just tearing this thing up so you see what it actually is. I mean, because I could punch my fist right through a sheetrock wall.
Can Air Crete be load bearing?
Yes. Yeah. Especially if it's got a mesh on both sides. It is definitely load bearing.
I never seem to get a good heavy foam. I use the Suave recommended too. Huh. And see, Suave is what we've always found that's the easiest. What is your ratio that you're using? That would be my first question, right?
Yeah, what's your ratio? And if it's anywhere between 60 and 90 psi, I'm able to get a really good foam. So, um,
She gets priority because you are the perfect son-in-law. Well, thank you. I think he's amazing too. What did you use for aggregates?
in the Air Crete this time for the wall, there are no aggregates.
Well, you did put the perlite.
Yeah, I did use perlite, but that was just as a medium for injecting moisture throughout the panel, so that as it cures, that moisture slowly is released and comes out and cures it harder. So that's the only reason. I put very little perlite in there, and when I did put the perlite in, I put it directly into the mixer, into just water, and I just saturated it and got it completely absorbed with water. So when I did mix my slurry, you had all these little pellets full of water in it. And then the baking soda and everything makes the whole thing set up really nice and quickly, so it whatever form you put it in, it just stays the same shape right there. And then those little water pellets slowly release that moisture out over time, and as that slowly cures with the moisture in there, that's the best way. Concrete cures the hardest underwater, and the more moist the condition you can get it to cure in, the harder it's gonna be in the end. And so that's the only reason I put the perlite in, was not as an aggregate, but just as a medium to help the curing process.
Have you investigated interlocking panel construction as opposed to singular studded edges?
Yeah, I have. And there are some factories over in Europe that put out a tongue and groove interlocking block system, and I find them quite fascinating, and we may have to go that direction in order to get a certification, in the United States eventually. And I mean, I know, guys, that we get enough people excited about it. There's going to be enough engineers out there that see it and get excited about it, and that at least for single family dwellings, maybe we're not going to build a skyscraper out of it, and I'm not saying that, but we don't use the same methods and materials to build single family dwellings as it is that we use for skyscrapers.
Yeah.
So
Thanks,
it's gonna
thumbs
come.
up.
All right, we better get to work, sweetie.
Yes. Yes, we
But I wish we could answer all these questions.
Let's do two
okay
more. Yes, humanity needs more simplicity. For example, click on the like icon for this video and you've supported Do Carpenter. That is amazing,
that
guys.
is
Thank you,
awesome.
Kevin. The foam dissipates too quickly using only Portland cement and water slurry. Foam looks nice, but all my attempts pancake. Try a little baking soda.
Well, yeah, but if it might be something more than just that, if they're completely pancaking. I mean, even when I first started trying these projects, I mean, I'd get it to collapse a little bit, but it wouldn't completely pancake on me.
No.
And I knew I had to get it stable. But if you're not using a hydrated lime in it, you could go about 5 or 6% hydrated lime, and that would help stabilize it. And test your foam, and if you're not getting a good quality thick foam, I mean, if I throw some foam on my kids in the backyard, in the morning when I go, it's still sitting there on the yard. So, and all I'm doing is using Suave shampoos.
The oil control one.
Yeah. What are they?
The clarifying.
It's not oil control. It's just
clarifying.
It's for medium to oily hair, and it's the clarifying one. But I don't know that it makes a difference.
Pat says to shoot the test panel.
Okay. Yeah. I've always wanted to break my gun out.
Try adding perlite and baking soda. Hello, Crete people. I click like when I first get logged in. Awesome. Hello. How will you secure the panels to each other? That is in the beginning of this.
Yeah, that's in the beginning of this video.
What would steel wool are you using?
We're just using a stainless steel scrubby pad, and I get them at the dollar store, so they're cheap, right?
You're doing an awesome job. 3 pounds of foam in 5-gallon bucket is what you want. Harry Mandelo. Thanks, Harry.
Yeah.
HCC bringing out the guns. Thank you so much for your help. All right, you guys, that's it for right now. We are going to go do some more pouring.
Whoever suggested I shoot it is awesome. I'm going to do that. I am going to go out and shoot an Air Crete panel.
I'll probably be recording.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks.